Brendan, how's your squad looking for Wednesday in terms of recovery? Anyone back? Tom Rogic, first of all, is he back?
Yeah, Tom's back, so he won't be available for Wednesday, but we'll see where he is for the weekend.
And in terms of bumps and bruises, anyone else near to coming back? Or
Nothing. No, nobody really that has been not in the squad for the weekend. So Dedrick's still suffering a little bit, still a bit of tightness in his abductor, so it's just too big a risk really to try and force it. So, but some of our guys like Jozo Simonovic have been training very well. They're there, and if we need to call upon them, Filip Benkovic has taken a knock, so we just have to assess that there. So, but apart from that, the guys that have been out for a little while are still out. We know all about Tommy's team. You know, they're always provided a difficult test. Of course, the last time we played very, very well, and it was probably the catalyst really for both teams. You know, for them, they went on a great run, and actually in 6 away games before the weekend, they hadn't conceded. You know, so they conceded the first goals at the weekend in their game against Hearts. So we know that they'll be looking to get back on track again on Wednesday, and will make it really, really tough for us. So, but yeah, it is unique. We had it with Motherwell, where we played within a week, actually, all sort of 3 consecutive games in terms of the cup final and midweek, and then at the weekend. So this will be similar, but you just got to approach each game on its own merit, and for us, this is our game in hand. So we want to make advantage at home.
There's a real volume of games coming, isn't there? I think it's 9 games across 4 weeks in 3 competitions. How much of a test will that be?
Well, it's a big test, but that's how it's been for us. In my time here, you know, we're over 60 games a season. So the players are, you know, have shown incredible focus and professionalism in that period of time. You know, so they prepare themselves really, really well. You know, they come off the back of a busy week back, start it again, and played very, very well. So no, you have to do everything in your preparation to make sure, 1, you're recovered, but also 2, that you're at the right level mentally and tactically to go into the games. So that's all the work behind the scenes that we try and deliver.
Just looking back to the weekend, there goals from all across the pitch. How pleasing is that as a manager?
Very, very. I think that we've looked very dynamic since we've come back. The winter break has always provided us with a chance to press the reset button. You know, playing so many games right the way through to the end of December. That then allows us to go away. It allows us to focus on, you know, and like I say, reintroduce a lot of our game principles again, and a lot of the concepts of which we work, and give some more fresh ideas to the players. And thus far, then they've come back and started off very, very well. So, but there's still a long way to go in the season and all the competitions that we're in. It's just a case of game by game, just looking to improve performance level.
This game in hand's been quite a long time coming. It'll be nice afterwards to be able to look at the table and properly assess where you are without having that sort of game hanging over you.
Yeah, no, it'd be nice for everyone to be on the same games, like you say. So yeah, it was just through our own success. It was put off back at the League Cup final. So but yeah, we know it'll be a tough game. We have to be really concentrated. You know, these are the type of games where, you know, your biggest enemy in these games can be your ego. You know, you got a game in hand, so, and you're playing at home, but just because we won every other game, you can never take it for granted. You still got to do all the work. You got to do your defensive work. You got to get to all your second balls. You got to press the game hard, and then from there, you're in the right to demonstrate your qualities.
Why has holding form been so good?
Well, I think in my time, I think we've lost 1 game in 2.5 years, and it was a trophy day. But we love playing at home. Of course, our job is to entertain the supporters at home and away. Away, it's been slightly more difficult for us this season, but that's the way it's been for lots of teams this season. But any team, you always want to make sure that at home, in particular, that you're very strong and focused. And like you say, our performance level has been at a really good level.
6-point gap would be a more than decent gap, wouldn't it, if you could get the 3 points against St John's?
Yeah, absolutely. At this part of the season to have that would be great. But we know we have to earn that.
By the same token, why do you think St Johnstone have been so successful away from home in that run since you played them?
Well, probably after that game, Tommy, and it looks like they probably went and reinforced a lot of their own principles and their basics of the game, which has always been to be hard to beat. And I think what Tommy's done brilliant this year, as you see from his team, that he's trying to evolve the team and play in a different style. So they've got more technical players in the team, players with more speed in their team. And of course, when you have that, in particular away from home, that gives you a real threat on the counter-attack. So you can sit in and be compact and look to break. So yeah, his performance at the weekend was probably, he probably hasn't seen one like that for a long time. So they'll be looking to, in our game, become better. And like we see with lots of teams coming to Celtic Park, they tend to want to find their highest level. So, but he continually does a brilliant job, and it's really good to see after that difficult start his team get good consistency.
Yeah, I'm asking about Lewis Morgan. We understand that Sunderland is speaking to you about taking him on loan. Is that accurate?
There is an interest from Sunderland, yeah, on Jack, and there's obviously one or two other clubs that are also interested.
Are Aberdeen one of them as well? There was a suggestion that they were looking at him too.
Yeah, there's a number of clubs that's interested. Yeah.
Do you expect him to go before Thursday then? I know you've said before that you would like him to get games.
Yeah, I think that him and I have spoken at length in terms of the next step for Lewis, and and we believe that getting regular game time is going to be absolutely important for him. So that move will hopefully take place for him. And then it's just not about finding the A club, because there's good clubs that are interested in him, but finding the right club that gives him the game times. But of course, it's up to the player. We can advise, but it's at the end decision is with the player, especially at the age they're not 16, 17, 18, where you're sort of shepherding them down a route. He's in his early 20s. He's man enough now, and all you can do is present the options for him, and then ultimately it's where he's going to play.
Would you expect any players in by Thursday?
Maybe there might be. So we still get a few days to go.
Because we're talking in December about how important this window might be for you. With just a couple of days to go, are you slightly disappointed that no defensive reinforcements have been able to be found?
No.
You're still looking.
Yeah, absolutely. We're fine. We will continue to look, and like I say, we'll see what we can bring in.
And are you quite enjoying the fact that things are quite, I was going to say honest at the top of the table, but there's less room for error. Maybe in previous seasons you've been quite comfortable by now, and now, as you say, you're having to go into games thinking, well, if our ego is going to be the biggest, one of the biggest problems, there's maybe less margin for error.
No, it's never been a problem for us, but it's always worth reinforcing that it can be an enemy for teams. But no, we approach every game with the honesty and in our preparation. The players are prepared no matter what game they play. The tightness of the league is great, of course, but you only really concentrate on yourselves, really. I think you see lots of teams taking points off each other this season. So, but we're on course for where it is we want to be at the end of the season. Like we say, we get the game in hand on Wednesday, and we can get the result there. Gives us a nice little cushion, but there's still a long way to go. So there'll be a lot of twists and turns before the end of the season, I'm sure. But all you can do is concentrate on your own game and prepare as thoroughly as you can, and then we know have the quality to go and find results.
I think Jack Hendry was another player you said to me go out on loan in the second half of the season. Is there any movement on that? Would you expect him to?
Nothing as of yet. There are interested teams in Jack, but again, over the next couple of days we'll really have to define the squad in terms of where we're at. We've got a game Wednesday as well, and you want to ensure that you don't pick up any injuries or any serious injuries that may stop them, because of course we have to ensure that first and foremost our own squad is right. And if it is, then it allows the possibility of players to go out. If not, then the players stay.
You said you were hoping that Marian Shved would arrive at the start of this week. Has there been any movement on that one either?
Yeah, I think there's a medical that's going on today. So hopefully over the next few days that can be organised, and then he'll come back to here, and we'll have a look and talk through what his development plan would be, and then go from there.
Brendan, if I can just ask you about Neil Lennon's time at Hibs. Looks like it's coming to an end. I appreciate it's another club, but what's he been like to come up against? How big a miss would he be if it is the end of his time at Hibs? And what's he like as in your encounters with him?
Well, obviously you're always disappointed, and of course there's no resolution yet to the situation. Of course you're always sad, but I know Neil pretty well, and I know how good a manager he is, and what he puts into his life as a football manager. What a very good tactician he is, and the thing with Neil is he's not interested in being second best. He's been in the game for all his life as a player and as a manager and coach to be the best that he can be. So he'll only ever want to be the best, and I think he galvanised Hibs when he went in there, and has shown consistently what a fantastic job he's done there. So if they end up parting their ways, then of course it would be very, very disappointing, and it would be a sad end to what has been a really, really successful time there. But of course there's lots of things that will go on behind the scenes that we're not privy to. So, but as a guy, I have a lot of respect for him. I did as a player, I have done as a manager. He's a good man who loves the game in general. Is a real thoughtful guy, very intelligent guy, and I'm sure if it did come to an end at Hibs, then he will walk into another job, I'm sure.
How careful does a manager have to be, Brendan, about the culture of a dressing room, or what you can and can't say to players or do with players? Is that another facet that managers have to have in their armoury, if you like? It's almost like a, human resources kind of thing.
Yeah, well, no, the game is changing all the time. I think from where it would have been years ago, it is there's night and day difference now. Like you say, years ago, if players would have got the focus put onto them from a manager, then there was that bit of, I'll go out and show you how good a player I am. Now it's different. The world's different. Society's different. So we're breeding different types of characters. And changing rooms are different now. Players will be out and straight onto their agents. And then, like you say, the agents will be onto human resources. It then becomes difficult. But that's what you have to adapt to as a manager. But like I say, it's a changing world, football. It's a fantastic life. It's a great to be in, coaching players, helping them be better, trying to achieve things. But of course, as you grow older as a person and a manager, you move further away from the age gap that you'll always work in. In football, you'll always work in the age band between 16 and 35. Some players play to they're 40, but you're very much going to be working in that gap, in that age band. But each year you move away from it. So it's very important that you stay in tune with it, of course, and also being aware of the evolution of the game. So, but it is definitely different. I've been managing over 10 years now, coaching nearly 25 years as a whole, and it definitely has changed.